Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. I hope you've all had some fantastic holiday times and it's currently pre-Christmas for me as I record right now. You will notice some Christmassy chests hanging around the place. Actually kind of perfect for what I'm going to show you at the beginning of this episode. Hermitcraft has been taking the Christmas shenanigans to the next level again. Someone's built a sign that says 2018. Also, what's going on right here I'll probably explain at some point in the future, but we need to go underground right now to see what Scar has been up to and then what Tango and Impulse did on their live stream. Okay, so you'll notice out here, okay, some Christmassy presents have popped up in this area. They have. So have creepers, got to watch out for those. If we turn around and look at the tree, we'll find out that it's actually a Christmas tree. There's also a skeleton over there that I'm going to try and avoid. Check this out. So we've got some little creeper ornaments hanging down, a cat face. Oh, look at that, all hanging down from the tree. That was all Scar's work right there. Very Minecrafty things like torches and diamond pickaxes and redstone ore. It looks absolutely fantastic. And then I believe Derp came along and added these rainbow lights over here, which look really cool. There's now some presents as well. And I think all of this was designed to lead you in a direction because you come out the entrance here. And as you go up here, there are, spruce trees on the right that you can follow. And then you see something off in the distance, okay? There is some sort of elven fella hanging out over there. And beyond the elven fella, there is some even more amazingness. Now, I saw this during our pre-Christmas Hermitcraft secret bonus live stream thing that I did on Twitch. And what we saw, split me in half, basically. It was so funny. I can't wait to see it again. If you want to check that out, as always, the live streams are on the second channel. It was 2 days before Christmas that we recorded it. So, popping down here, bam, out, machines. Yes, this elven fella. Then there's a Christmas tree full of presents. And then something caught my eye. There's candy canes over here. And, I don't even know what to say. It's going to speak for itself, okay? Look at this wonderful room. Did you see that? Oh, it still looks great. I lost my mind when I saw this the first time. Look, Santa's little helpers. They're doing work. They're going back and forth. They're picking up things and carrying them over here. They're picking up things and carrying them over there. They're dancing as well, doing a little bit of dance on the job. I don't know how they did this. I understand that obviously they're following something, but what's crazy is how they don't all go at once. They sort of individually go back and forth. Oh, and look at that. Like on my Patreon server, that is the perfect Christmas star, isn't it, on top of the tree? And, Impulse and Tango have kind of outdone themselves here. I mean, oh, it's absolutely adorable. It slays me. Okay. And I think that's everything. I think that's all that they got up to in here. We didn't really wander around too much further to check it out. Over on this side, you can see more of Scar's wonderful decorations, diamonds, and diamond axe hanging from the sky. Oh, but this down here, man. It's really something, isn't it? Let's go look at it one more time. This is just such a fantastic thing. It should stay here forever, even though it's a Christmassy thing, I think. Look at those little suckers go. Anyways, let's get to the focus of what we're going to be doing this episode. I've become really interested in Zedaph's vision for the gaming district, which was to have lots of games sort of slapped on top of one another for everything to wind around the thing that's next to it and fill up all of the space. And so far that really hasn't happened because, well, the area's kind of big, flat and open and everyone has just gone to their own little space and built their own little thing. And with Boat Bros, what we tried to do was wrap it around the back of this thing to tie it together. And that's actually worked out pretty well. And now I'm looking at the other spaces in between and thinking, man, this mycelium is ugly, it's disgusting. It needs to go, but we need to remove it by filling in, the spaces around here with games to play. And so what we're going to make is a very simple and straightforward assault course. It's going to be a 2-player game. You play against someone else, and it's all just about doing simple, basic parkour jumps. Some of them will be a little bit tricky, some will be timed with redstone, and just having a race, and it's not like both players are going to finish at the exact same time, even though the game is relatively simple, right? There will be winners and losers. And over here, I've set up a little starting door system. I don't have any redstone to hand, so I think the way to simulate a player standing on the opposite side is by breaking that. So if both players are standing on the pressure plates, then the doors open. right? And they're allowed to run into the first part of the race where there'll be some basic jumps and stuff like that. That's one of the things that I did on a live stream. I set that up so we're kind of ready to go there. But I need to make this wind in and out and around of the area. So what we're going to do is create like a vertical jumping challenge that comes up through this glass. Then the contestants will run across the top. They'll drop down the other side. There'll be some sort of challenges as they drop down. And then they're going to go underground and across. And they're going to reappear over here. And when they reappear, they're then going to have a challenge to run up the hill, and the finishing bit will be up there. And then that gives us all of this space in front of us here to build a structure, to put a big sign saying what the name of the game is, and all that kind of stuff. And yet we've managed to wrap it around the paths, which was part of Zedaph's vision for this area. Now obviously this glass box is a little bit ugly. That's just some framework. This is just me figuring out the ins and outs of where everything is going to go. So this is our starter building. It weaves in and around the path, and it's going to finish up there. I am pleased to say that the first portion of this is done. It all revolves around one block, that block being the iron bars. And remember, this is like a racing parkour game. So really, it's just about playing with a friend. We're not trying to create the most innovative and brilliant parkour challenge ever. It's just something simple. I'm also not very good at this, probably going to fall into the water, and there you go. We've got a big window in here though as well, and that's so you can see how your partner is doing, or your competition even. Cha! There we go. I'm not going to get much further than this, but it goes all the way up here, and these jumps are relatively easy because you go from one side to the other. Then you have a jump to the middle, okay, back into the corner, and I think that one's a little bit tricky. Into here, that one's there sort of for you to hit your head on, but it never really happens. And then you're up to the top, and I think I'm going to leave this like so. Yes, you can jump into the other player's lane. We're not even going to worry about it. So the next thing is like a downwards jumping puzzle, and I'm not sure how we're going to punish the player for not going down on the path that we want, right? I think the way to do it is with cobwebs. So, you know, you've got to jump to that block, and if you don't hit it, you're going to land in a cobweb, and that's going to really punish you. In fact, punish you in a big way is what it will do. Whoa. That's a spot of luck right there. Well, hey, I can't complain about that. Dug straight down, straight into a mine shaft. I figured let's go caving and try and find a mine shaft, and here one is. Superb. Now we can collect loads of cobwebs. I've got like three that we can use. Hi, there's one of them. And, oh, I didn't bring any torches. We are on a mushroom biome though, so there shouldn't be any baddies spawning around here. We will need torches to take care of any mob spawners that need disarming. But look at that. That's a spot of luck right there. There's a massive mine shaft underneath the area that we're in, the gaming district, it would appear to be. Now I'm reminded of why I had a feeling there might be a mine shaft under here. I think I must have been watching Mumbo's episode, and he'd gone right into the middle of the one. So there probably was a spawner just around here, as there's a big cluster of cobwebs. But behind me, there is the labyrinth, as I believe it's called. Is that what it was called? Yeah, and that's right through the middle of this. I could probably walk through this space and maybe find a bit more of the mine shaft on these other sides. What's going on over here? These mine shafts, or are they caves? Well, this turned out great. I'm really pleased with how this one goes. There's a set of interesting challenges as you make your way downwards. You've got choices to make, like you could try and jump between the two sets of cobwebs and land on that one. We will of course add some glass around the outside here, and actually probably going to need something on top of that as well, because you could sort of walk like that and drop down onto that first bit. But anyway, let me show you my wonderful parkour skills. Of course, now that I'm recording, I'm going to land in the cobwebs all of the time. So you fall down onto here, you jump up onto there because there's no other way to go, and the course kind of like guides you around. You've got to avoid the cobwebs, so a little bit of a run and jump there. Again, the amazing parkour skills of Xisuma. Coming in to save me there. I've literally now got to wait. Go back to the top to show you the next jump. Ah, well, using an ender pearl is another option. That seems to have glitched me out, and now I'm back in the cobweb. And there's an endermite in the cobweb, and this is not very fun. Right, so if you successfully make it over from that one, you got the same challenge again, just in a moment. There it is, except this time you got a cobweb above your head, so it's supposed to trick you into thinking you should jump, which is not what you should do. And get out of here, sucker, get wrecked. You're on fire, you're lighting up the place. That reminds me, we need to put some lighting down here. Now at the bottom we got cobblestone and mossy cobble. That's because these cobwebs reminded me of dungeons, you know, mine shafts and caving and all of that. So that's going to lead us through to our next challenge, which is going to be right in front of us here. Now this is our first turning in the course, and I've designed, or well, figured this out so that basically what we'll do is have a little stretch right here. We're going to do lava in this challenge, and then we'll do the exact same turn again and face this direction to go up the hill. Now the way things work with races is that, you know, one player is going to have the inside turn, which is shorter, so you've got to have an even amount of turns so that it balances itself out. So the player who has the short turn here has the long turn in the next bit. So now we know how long each of the sections are going to be. We're going to put a lava section in here, turn the corner, and then the final part will be in front of us. There is a reason I carry so much lava with me, and that's because once in a blue moon you'll actually need to use it. I don't think I've ever really needed to use this. So let's pop down into here. Lava is going to be what we're putting in this room right here, and it might become quite apparent to you pretty quickly what's going on. If we just track back, this is the roof of this area here. I kind of carved out like a skylight, and it doesn't really fit with the room. At the same time, it kind of like just gives it a little bit of character for being a bit different. But anyway, the idea is that in this area you're going to be surrounded by lava constantly, and that I think is going to be rather interesting, as it's not about jumping, it's about holding your nerve and trying not to get set on fire. So if we just put some lava into a couple of key places to begin with, then we'll be able to see what this challenge is all about. And I'm literally doing what the challenge is as I'm moving around here. You're basically going to be holding shift and walking through here kind of slowly, and it's about holding your nerves. So if you feel confident, you might start to move a little bit faster, and that I think is going to be really good in a competitive environment, as you know, if you get set on lava, bad things are going to happen. You can die when playing this game. That's a possibility, I guess. Then when we get to the end here, a little bit of a trick coming in, okay? And this, you know, I stepped in it for a split second, now I'm going to be on fire for a while. That's just the way things work here. But obviously you've got to do a little bit of a jump, a little bit of a hold your nerve moment over here. But if you're really gunning for it, you can go bam and land down on this bit, which is going to be a little bit trickier. They are the same distance though. They're 2 blocks and 2 blocks. I think I'm going to make it so that it's 2 and 3 blocks, right? Plus you're landing on one at the same height there, and then over here you'll be landing on something that is lower. So that's like a risk jump. I don't know if you'd actually be able to do it, but it's a way to get to the end a little quicker. And I think at the end here it would be smart to chuck in like a bucket of water or something. So that's what that one's going to be. We're going to fill this room in with iron blocks at the top, slabs on the side, and we're also going to chuck in some magma blocks as well. These are just basically going to be like a trim along the outside of the building that's obviously going to fit in with the theme pretty well. Well, I tried hard, but my attempt to line up the exit, or whatever you want to call it, the corner that we turn underground with this bit over here, hasn't really worked out very well. Our path is going to be centered around these 2 blocks, so this is probably going to shift over to the right a little bit. It's going to start a little further back as well. Remember, everything that I laid out here was us trying to fill in all of these spaces. Like the mycelium here is not very nice to look at, is it? And we want to fill it with stuff, which is why we put in this little roof into this space here. But everything's going great so far. And by the way, the layout that you see down here with the path that just kind of comes off the middle there, I mirrored that exactly down here. So it is a fair and equal turn for both players, as you can see. Got that little bend, whatever you want to call it, right there. And so that's the lava challenge finished. I've placed in more of the lava. I did originally want to fill in every single block with lava, but I didn't in the end. The ceiling has dirt directly above it. The below bit has some stone and andesite, and I kind of realized like halfway through building this that I never put something under the iron, but it ended up looking pretty good, and I think it's a solid challenge as well. So the thing about redstone is you can spend a long time on it and not get anywhere. I've been on the server for an hour now. It is a new day, it is the morning, and I've been trying to wire up these pistons. Now I want them to fire individually. That means that we have to point them like this. And if there's one thing I hate, it's big and scrambly, messy redstone. And I've been trying to do this compact for a while now, where we sort of power them. In fact, these should be the other way around, but we power them in order one by one, and I can't do it with a neat and compact redstone circuit. And I'm starting to think that either I make a big ugly messy one or I abandon this idea. But what I want to happen is have all of these push out one at a time. In fact, let's just turn that one there. Well, what I should have done is added a delay and put a delay there, and then it would give you an idea of what I'm after. So the player's going to stand on this pressure plate, and then they're going to come out one by one, and they've got to climb their way to the top, was my idea. It still seems really good, because if you fail and you don't get it right, you get pushed off. But you come back down to the bottom and you start again. So every time that you activate this pressure plate, it's the same sequence of events. Something else that I tried as well was this. So you jump on there, you press that, then you've got to time your jump and you get on the next one. But it started to get a little bit complicated, I think, the timing, and also it was hard to hide the redstone as well. Like the beginning bit here, you can hide it behind there. This can be hidden down there, but then it starts to get exposed, and I was thinking I don't want players accidentally messing up the redstone and making the game unfair. So is this Silk Touch? It is. We'll give one more stab at this idea over on this side, and I'll try and do it with a big clump of messy redstone. I have failed you all with my redstone, although the next section is going to be about redstone. I got so fed up with trying to make it fit into this area down here that I just gave up with it and thought of another challenge, which was ladders. So we've kind of done, you know, one thing in each section, right? So this little bit here can be about ladders, and the trick with these jumps is that you're going to land on the face of the ladder and then go up to the next bit. Now I've had a fair bit of practice, or maybe this is just a bit easy, but either way it's an even challenge, so whoever can do it the fastest gets, you know, a little bit of an advantage there. And that brings us up to this bit. You can see where I was originally aiming for. We're pretty much within the same space, and now we're going to have like an uphill dash to the end of this thing. I kind of want it to go diagonal, one block at a time, so I guess that would mean something like this. But I also want to put in jumping challenges here that are controlled by redstone. And what I mean is there's going to be clocks in the middle that... There's always a bat. There's always a bat flying towards me. Get away! Yeah, clocks in the middle that come out and power pistons on either side at the same time. And that means that the players have got to observe what's going on and jump around. But with this thing going at this slope, that might be really tricky. So I'm going to have to rethink things here. Try out some redstone and just see what happens. There's a big difference between having ideas and then making them happen with redstone in this game. Today I've been stifled by redstoning, okay? I thought it'd be really simple to have some clocks in the middle and power some pistons that move around as you want to jump on them. Then I kind of realised that we don't want a clock running around the clock. Excuse the pun, the unintentional pun. So again, we're going to have to activate this with a pressure plate. And then I've had all sorts of trouble, like wiring things the way I want them to and getting them compact, because what we're going to do here is we're going to have a floor that's made out of glass hiding the redstone. So if you get the jumps wrong, you'll land on this glass and have to run back to the beginning, but you can see all the redstone down below, which I think is a really nice touch. Problem is, it kind of makes powering the pistons weird. So to do this, well, you got to jump on it first time, but to do this one you got to time your jump, and it's kind of easy, I think. And I'm not sure really what else to do with other than that, but it enables us to go upwards like we want to do. And I guess we could repeat the section and maybe make the timing a little bit harder, but I'm not really sold on this idea either. It just feels, I don't know, not that fun. And before you say you could just walk over the side, this will all be covered so you can't get over here. That's kind of the idea. It's kind of occurred to me now that this looks alright because it's nice and clean, but it doesn't really fit into its surroundings. We have to build a lot more stuff around this to make it fit in. And now that this is finished, it's really cool looking the way you can look down and see the redstone, and the challenge itself is pretty easy, I think. Yeah, it's really easy. Oh! Well, I've put that at the wrong height, haven't I? I guess I'll have to lower that all down a block. But then I was thinking about doing the same thing again, but what problems did I run into with the redstone torches and stuff, and I thought I could maybe make that work in my favour. So this time it's about jumping up. Now we could jump on that piston if it weren't extended, which I will do. I will jump onto the piston, and then maybe I can even place that there. And I glitched through it. I did try and jump at the same time. Let's throw that back down again. Okay, we're on top of it. Then we could jump to that one. Now, if that were powered, it would be one block higher, so that would be the only one you could jump to next, and then this one here. So the problem here is that these redstone torches are at the bottom one. But the idea I was thinking is, look, we go up one block at a time, because that's as high as we can jump. So redstone torch, and block. Redstone torch, block, redstone torch. You see what I mean? So the signal that's going to go around and power this, if it gets inverted when it comes from there over to here, and this is off by default, then all of them can be in the lowered extension by default, and then you stand on the pressure plate and you set it off one by one. So it could be a little quick jumping challenge to go from there to there to there to there, and then to the end, because this is going to be the final challenge. I'm now looking around the area here and starting to think about all the design decisions that are going to come in making this look even more interesting as we try and tear out more of the mycelium and make this place look prettier. But the final part of the challenge here is done, and I kind of accomplished my vision of having this slope go upwards like this. It looks really cool. It just doesn't fit in with the mycelium, and this is the finishing podium right here. We'll probably build a little area with some stuff. I've also got this like llama hanging out here watching me do my work, but the final challenge is in place, and it's pretty tricky, but I've done it so many times now I've got the hang of it. So let me try. Oh, timed that jump poorly. So when you land on the second one, you got to turn around as you do it. Okay, I felt like that was a good run up. Let's try one more time. Nope, I jumped too soon. One more time. How many times will I say that then? Oh man, I'm not getting it right now. Okay, there we go. And again. It's a lot harder to do when you're recording, peeps. And that's where we're going to wrap this episode up. Obviously, I got a lot more to do in integrating this, making the rules, finishing up the builds. We're going to make it look more interesting. And so we'll be back over here in another episode soon working on all of that. But for right now, that's it from me this episode. So if you have enjoyed it, then leave a like on the video. As always, thank you so much for your support. And I'll see you in the next episode of Hermitcraft. So ciao for now. Bye-bye.